Well, I'm sorry that jute is not getting as much attention as it deserves. I feel jute is a very important commodity, not because it's grown abundantly in Bangladesh. Lives of millions of poor families in Bangladesh are involved in jute. It's a natural fiber, and a fiber which is somehow in the threat of extinction, literally.
The South and Southeast Asian regions are the home of jute. Jute is the second most important traded natural fiber after cotton. Of the global production of about 3 million tons of jute and allied fibers, the 5 major jute-producing countries, namely Bangladesh, China, India, Nepal, and Thailand, account for about 97%. In Bangladesh and India, substantial amounts of foreign exchange are earned through the export of jute and jute products.
Millions of small-scale and marginal farmers in South and Southeast Asia derive their livelihood from jute production, while hundreds of thousands of other workers are employed in the jute industry, both large and small-scale. Jute agriculture is labour-intensive, providing scope for employment of family labour, including women. Jute is one of the few crops which can be grown in the monsoon season and can be rotated with rice to restore the soil fertility and structure. Jute is biodegradable and environment friendly. The leaves of the jute plant enrich the fertility of the soil for sustained agriculture and have good nutrition value as vegetable. Use of jute sticks as fuel and fencing material as substitute for wood prevents deforestation.
The traditional jute products are sacking, hessian and carpet backing cloth. However, jute is usually known for its use as packaging material and remains as an important item in national and international trade world. Traditional jute cultivation is a very arduous process compared to the cultivation of other crops. The process includes a number of steps. First, land is prepared by repeated ploughing. Sowing of seeds begins when land is fully prepared. Broadcasting of seeds is the traditional method, still practiced almost everywhere. As the plants grow and reach a height of about 1 to 3 inches, the surrounding weeds are uprooted and the fields are cleared. The thinning process starts at a still later stage, as the plants grow to a height of about 1 foot. Thinning is important to leave space in between to help plants grow well. About 120 days after sowing, when the plants have grown sturdy and mature, jute is harvested. After harvesting, plants are stockpiled for a few days under the sun. After drying, the plants are usually immersed into water of roadside ditches, small ponds or canals. Retting then follows. It is a process by which the fibre is peeled off the stick. With appropriate retting completed, fibre is peeled off the jute plants and washed in clean water. Following peeling off and washing, the jute fibre is dried in the sun under open sky and is made ready for marketing.
The industrial processing of jute, like jute agriculture, is also labour-intensive and involves a number of steps. It also involves different machines, technology and skill. The raw jute is first assorted according to grades and made into moras. This is followed by application of some emulsion to soften it. Jute is then fed to carding machines to open it up into individual fibers. The fibers are parallelized into different drawing machines to facilitate spinning. The spinning section of the jute mills then spin the fibers into yarn for winding and subsequent weaving. The finished products are then made ready for marketing according to buyers' preferences. Despite the hard labour involved, jute farmers and jute industry workers are nevertheless dependent on the commodity, which provides them the cash money to sustain their livelihood. Jute has been a popular fibre for the last 150 years. Until the 60s, jute enjoyed tremendous popularity around the world.
From the early 70s, the jute sector started suffering a setback in almost all the jute-producing countries. The main competition for jute comes from the synthetic industry, mainly polypropylene, which is preferred as a packaging material in the developed countries in view of its lower cost as well as local and immediate availability. The use of such synthetic materials has had an adverse impact on soil quality, causing blockages in drainage and sewerage system, leading to environmental hazards.
In some producing countries, jute is facing increasing competition from other more remunerative crops, mainly rice and other cash crops, and as such, jute cultivation is gradually being shifted to marginal and less fertile lands. This deteriorating scenario has been the driving force behind the establishment of the Dhaka-based International Jute Organization, IJO.
The International Jute Organization, or IJO for short, is an inter-governmental organization which was established in 1984 under the auspices of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, or UNCTAD, under the framework of its integrated program for commodities. The main objective of the IJO is to improve structural conditions in the international jute market. The main problem of jute is its competitiveness or lack of competitiveness against the competition, namely synthetic substitutes. And what we are trying to do in the IJO is to improve jute's competitiveness through research and development activities in the areas of agriculture, industry, and also through market promotion activities. The problem is not easy because on the one hand we have to ensure that the poor farmers who grow jute get a decent return for their efforts, but we have to be able to do so without jeopardizing the price competitiveness of jute on the international market.
The The IJO have been carrying out research in cooperation with the member countries, various donors and specialized agencies for quality enhancement and yield improvement of jute. A centralized germplasm repository, Gene Bank, has been established under the IJO Germplasm project at the Bangladesh Jute Research Institute. So far, more than 2,600 germplasm specimens have been collected to enrich the genetic basis of the jute-producing countries. It is expected that these germplasm will go a long way in helping the scientists towards the development of high-yielding, improved varieties. Through collaborative regional trials, a large number of germplasm accessions have been characterized and shortlisted for evolving new high-yield varieties. One such variety has already been released in China, and some other promising ones are awaiting release in other jute-producing countries.
After thorough experimentation, 3 low-cost, appropriate and effective jute seeders and 1 weeder have been developed and recommended to the jute farmers. IJO BGRI multi-crop manual seeder has been put to use in Nepal through the IJO-supported exchange program. The IJO, in cooperation with FAO, has developed low-cost ribboners and identified efficient microbial cultures in order to reduce the retting period, water requirement and improve fiber quality.
The IJO, through promoting biotechnological research, has also started experiments to bring about a varietal improvement of jute to supplement efforts in the conventional breeding field. Under the IJO's biotechnology and genetic engineering projects, scientists have established tissue culture and gene transformation system for the development of new breeding materials, improved varieties and transgenic jute plants.
The IJO is implementing a project called Environmental Assessment of Jute Agriculture to establish the environment-friendly image of jute and to prove its worth in relation to synthetics in competitive terms.
The IJO has devoted its attention to help jute industries increase their production efficiency, reduce cost of production and improve quality of the products. It has conducted a number of studies, published reports and held scores of workshops to disseminate information on the results of those studies. A growing portion of IJO's industrial research and promotional activities is concentrated to diversified products for greater value addition and market expansion. The research and studies conducted by the IJO reveal that jute, being a natural fibre, is suitable for blending with cotton and other fibres to produce textile-grade yarn and fabrics. Jute can be used to reinforce plastics in a variety of moulded products. The relative lower price of jute makes it an ideal candidate to replace glass fibre for high value-added products like automobile components.
Jute, being a biodegradable, eco-friendly, recyclable material, has the advantages of being used as geotextiles in soil erosion control and in agro-mulching. The possibility of utilizing the whole jute plant as paper pulping material through application of biotechnology holds substantial promise, bringing new hope for the producing countries.
With the assistance of Indian Jute Industries Research Association and Bangladesh Jute Research Institute and China Zhejiang Jute Research Institute, there has been an improvement in dyeing, bleaching, finishing and proofing of diversified jute goods for household use. There is a large potential in this area for commercial application. Innovative approaches have been initiated to diversify jute products and for promoting its non-traditional uses. These include jute-based door panels, packaging and jute intermediates as substitutes for wooden, plywood and other packaging panels to make rigid or semi-rigid packaging and container boxes. With appropriate promotion, this effort is expected to be a major breakthrough.
Some leading car manufacturing companies around the world have been using jute as an environment-friendly, recyclable material in their cars. The interior panel of car doors and other ventilating components are often made of jute. It reduces cost on the one hand and overall vehicle weight on the other, thus contributing to higher fuel efficiency.
The IJO, in playing its catalytic role of promoting jute and jute goods, has recently established an international norm for the manufacture of jute bags used in the packing of selected food-grade materials, namely cocoa beans, coffee beans and shelled nuts. The relevant norm, known as IJO Standard 9801, represents a unique achievement in an exercise of international cooperation involving the manufacturers, exporters, importers and end-user industries covering these widely traded commodities.
As part of its market promotion efforts, the IJO has so far executed market promotion activities, mainly in Western Europe and Japan. In addition, it has organized contact promotion programs for jute and jute goods in Australia, New Zealand, Netherlands, UK, USA and Russia, where considerable business contacts were established between exporters and importers of jute and jute goods.
The IJO also participates in various international trade fairs and exhibitions to display various jute products and to explain the advantages of jute over synthetics.
The IJO has travelled a long and difficult way to reach its present situation. Now that the foundation has been laid through research, trials and explorations, it is time to reap benefit from this outcome. In fact, the organization has now reached a stage when it could effectively play the role of catalyst to assist the jute economy to take off and to be better equipped to meet the challenges of the 21st century.
It is believed that the IJO will continue to play its important role in fashioning a bright future for jute, thus helping it regain its lost glory.